It's the sort of soothing, soulful music that literally stirs you in the morning time. The voice of the man. Freddie Jackson in the morning time, Grenada. It's a wonderful good morning to you, wherever you are within the sound of my voice. It's the sound of Classic in the morning, Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. It is Thursday, a wonderful, terrific Thursday morning to you, and we're happy that you're up and about, waking to the sound of my voice, mixed in with that of Freddie Jackson. All that I've ever asked of you is that, well, that's a separate conversation, but I'm happy that you're here. I am here, and certainly that I hope you've had a good night's rest and you're up and about. You are invigorated and you're ready, you're recharged and ready for the demands and asking of another great day in God's wonderful creation. I'm Joseph Cador, and I'm saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, and smell the coffee. It's another day of productivity, another day on the grind, another day when we allow ourselves to push beyond the boundaries of our limitation and say, yes, I can. Today is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, because it's a day that is a gift to me, and I've accepted and I've embraced it wholeheartedly. And certainly that's exactly what we're going to do. And because we've accepted it wholeheartedly, and because of the time and the seasons that we're in, earlier in the week I know we spoke about attitude and understanding and appreciating how your attitude affects your altitude in life and where you can go. And because of an attitude, we've adopted the proper attitude, we're also going to embrace an attitude of gratitude this morning. An attitude of gratitude as we reflect on where we were 38 years ago. It's important that we be grateful and show gratitude. So the word for today is gratitude, and gratitude is a noun. It is spelled Gratitude, gratitude, and it simply means a feeling of appreciation or thanks. Let me express my sincere gratitude for all your help, simple as it is. We remember with gratitude those who died defending our country. Gratitude. The word for today, it is gratitude, and again it is spelled Gratitude. Gratitude. And certainly as you go through the day, I want us to reflect on the more finer things of life and get to appreciate, because very often we just assume that we have a right to be here. We're entitled to riches, we're entitled to having a job, we're entitled to be breathing, not knowing and realizing that there's a greater one who holds us in the palm of his hands. And indeed, we need to ever so often just stop, check the roses, smell it, and realize, you know what? A little gratitude goes a long way. So that's the word for the day. The thought for the day, and I have two for you. Be grateful for what you have and stop complaining. It bores everyone else. It does you no good and doesn't even solve your problem. Be grateful with what you have and stop complaining. It bores everyone else. It does you no good and doesn't solve your problem. You know, when you adopt a spirit of gratitude, yes, while you go through problems in life, it allows you, though, to become a little bit more grateful and thankful that you say, Lord, while I may not be having the best of health, my head hurts, my back aches, but I have the breath of life and I'm being grateful. I'm showing a gratitude and being thankful. Because the truth is, complaining, it doesn't help you or me in any way, form, or fashion. So today we are going to make it, we're going to be a little bit more grateful. Gratitude makes sense of your past, and it's always good to put things into perspective. Gratitude, it makes sense of your past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. Many of you probably find you're living your life seem as though you're going in a revolving door, where you seem caught up in the mire of yesterday, days gone by. Listen, with a grateful heart you accept You know what? We've been down that path 38 years ago. You make sense of it. You may not all understand it, but you try to make sense of it. And today, being the 21st day of October, 38 years on, because of gratitude, we try to bring peace and create a vision, a wholesome vision of togetherness for tomorrow. That's what gratitude does. And today, we embrace and adopt a spirit of gratitude. And there's a whole lot of things we have to be grateful for to keep our eyes on the clock. 20 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock workers, yes. I'm hoping that you're already on your way. There's a lot of things that we have to be grateful for. And among those things we have to be grateful for is that of what we've done and managed with COVID-19. Where did I put that slide? I can't find it. Where did I do it? But in the meantime, what I'll tell you about, though, as you go through the day, we're grateful that Ariza, they have a really a plan-packed day for us. So the credit union has planned an Ask the Doctor Day Health Fair. And it takes place today at the Ariza car park. So yeah, that's a good way to plan your day. You're being grateful. It's at the Ariza car park, and you go there, you can get your blood pressure check your sugar, check your diabetes, HIV check, COVID-19 testing and vaccination, BMI calculation, and so much more. Chat with a doctor and light refreshment. Well, that's there while stocks last. Don't assume it's a whole day party. Yeah, just go, see what's going on with your health. It's a good way, really, to get to be grateful that you're alive and you can at least know what's happening with your health. I was looking for my COVID-19 dashboard. Mike, did I send it to you? Oh, thank you, Mikey. You're working with me. Oh, right. So we're looking at the COVID-19 dashboard. I mean, noticing that we've had 14 new cases. We've seen the numbers continues to reduce. We have active cases, 134, 19 new recoveries, and the deaths again, we've noticing. Let's be grateful for that. That death column was just spiraling out of control. But for the last couple of days, thank God, we put a lid on it, and it is standing there at 193. So let's be grateful. Let us be grateful. And while we're being grateful, Brother Mike, we want to give people a bit of appreciation as to where they can probably go and get their vaccination, get their vaccines. So we're looking at today, Thursday, at the Kirani James Stadium. You access through Gate B. Then there's all of the health centers across the Tri-Island State. And today, you can also go at Sam's from 12 until 3 to do that, as well as the Golf New Polyclinic. That's from 9 a.m. to 3. It's also available at Dr. Francis Martin's office on Grenville Street from 8 until 2, and yes, so you can do that. Man, keep in mind that if you're making a visit to the health center, you must make an appointment. As you can well understand, COVID-19 protocols and everything being what they are, you have to make an appointment. So the question is, how do I call the health centers? I'm going to run through the numbers again quickly, as I do every morning for you. The St. George Health Center, 440-3371. Grand Bra, it's 442-7623. St. David, 444-6249. Certes, 442-9317. Guelph, 444-8414. And Hillsborough, Carriacou, 443-7280. Be grateful that at least we're still here, and at least you're hearing me and you're within the reach of my voice. Today, we've been grateful and reminding yourself that gratitude makes sense of your past. It brings peace for today, the 21st, and creates a wholesome vision, a clear vision for tomorrow. We're getting ready for the morning edition of news right here on Classic. For those of you that is on television, we give you a repeat of the top stories from last evening. Today being Tuesday, well, Thursday, we're looking at the clock at the top of the hour. We join the Met Office for the weather forecast. We do the birthday club, and then for around 15 minutes past the hour, it is Thursday, Talk the Thing Thursday, and we're going to open up the lines, and hopefully, I want us, when we do engage in whatever conversation today, that you, the public, will actually get a chance to pick. It would be with a spirit of gratitude, not necessarily that we being contentious. While there are things that we can quarrel about, hope today we want to keep the focus on us being gratitude for where we are with COVID-19 and appreciating where we were 38 years ago and where we are within the current construct of things. The morning edition of radio is next. I rejoin you on television at the other side of the clock. 13 on to the hour, 7 o'clock workers. You got to get going. If you're not within 5 minutes of the JOB, you're definitely going to be late. So long. I'll see you on the other side.
Story this evening. October is the month set aside to celebrate the lives of senior citizens. However, the advanced in age shamefully continue to be the targets of predators. Chrislina John has another heartbreaking story as another senior citizen is attacked, this time by someone he considers a son.
Can I have in these 200 God give me to do anything, act full to any man? Look how I go look at them. These 3 mash up in the right hand, only 2 in the right hand are walking. Look at them. These 5 already gone, and another found it.
That was 66-year-old Aidan Levine of Old Westerhall, St. David. Mr. Levine alleged that he was attacked Monday by his nephew, whom he says he cared for since he was a baby. Now he said not only is he left humiliated, but fearful. Monday's incident did not only affect the elderly man, but also traumatized 2 of his young children, who were at the time in Mr. Levine's care. Mr. Levine says the row was over a few passion fruits he took from the property belonging to the family. He said the young man made demands for the fruit, which Mr. Levine himself refused to give. The shaken man spoke of his ordeal to GBN after this incident, hoping to get some peace of mind.
When he pushed me, I tumbled down. And when I tumbled down, I get up and I come back right here. And I say, Richard, I said, what are you doing? Me behind my head here, and he pulled me over. So when he pulled me over now, all the weight of my body now end up lying on the door. So then now I come like a seesaw, pull me down, and try to pull me out by my head. The cutlass was in the corner here. Look at this tough bucket. When I start to get the pressure, when I ball out, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. You say you're balling. I thought you're coward.
The elderly man, whose hands are somewhat paralyzed, is thankful for his 8-year-old grandson's quick thinking that he believed saved his life.
Age kill him up. And if he didn't have the tablets, and if he didn't have the qualification, as much as the young, the sense, to know how to manipulate the tablets in order to get different games and different things that you want off it, that would have go scot-free, because nobody would not have known what Richard Levine do to me, the uncle, without giving him a cause.
The police were contacted, and as he says, he's allowing the law to take its course. However, he says he's disappointed that an arrest is not made to date.
Police. And the police came, and after explaining the first outing, the police bringing a doctor paper to me, which I carried to the doctor. Yesterday, I waiting for compensation from the law.
From late September into October, it was brought to the attention of the GBN 3 incidences of assaults on elderly citizens. This latest incident brings the number of attacks to 4. that GBN has reported on in the past 3 weeks. Police continue their investigations into these matters to bring the perpetrators to justice. Christina John, GBN News.
In other news, an executive member of the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Clarice Medes-Kerwin, both say the mandatory vaccination requirement posed on vendors of the Grenada Spice Market simply follows the rules and regulations put in place to deal with the global COVID-19 pandemic. We get the details in this report.
Chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Barry Collimo, in his response to the recent industrial action taken by vendors of the Grenada Spice Market, says that they are only abiding by the regulations stipulated by government and not forcing anyone to get vaccinated. Some vendors took to the streets on Monday after they were not allowed to operate unless they are fully vaccinated. They claimed that no consultations were held with them to address the issue prior to the no vac, no entry policy. Collimo denied this, saying that several consultations were held to educate the business owners on vaccination and the role it plays in the tourism sector. He said another consultation was held today, Wednesday, to continue to update them on the matter.
Within the emergency powers regulations, all persons selling food have to be vaccinated. Like every other establishment, we had to inform them, and we did inform them via memo. We invited them to a meeting to discuss it. And we met with some of them today, and we had a lengthy discussion with the minister, the manager of the craft market, the head of product development, the former minister, Mrs. Hood, and myself. So we had a productive discussion.
The chairman also stated that tourists visiting the island must be vaccinated, and the same is required for all operators of tourism sites in Grenada, as mandated by airlines and the cruise line owner.
That the visitors who they are serving are all vaccinated. The cruise ship passengers will all be vaccinated. And therefore, the companies like for instance, we got a memo today from one of our major airlines who also run a tour operating company, and they're saying that they're saying that they will only be booking fully vaccinated tours and sites.
Minister for Tourism Clarice Medes-Kerwin, in speaking to GBN via telephone on the matter, indicated that the craft center has not been operating fully for over 2 years due to COVID-19. She said she wants the markets to be certified so that the vendors can return to work, but the reality is that sites will not be certified unless persons are vaccinated to protect the lives of visitors and the service providers.
So we are not in a position, we cannot mandate to say to people that you must get vaccinated. However, if they have to interact and interface with the same people that have been mandated or directed that if they want to come into the country, they have to be vaccinated, then I think it's only fair that these people who serve the people who are coming in would have to be vaccinated. So government has not taken a position to mandate vaccine, and therefore we are not in a position to mandate. We can just provide guidance and we can certify based on the request and the requirements.
Both Minister Kerwin and the chairman hopes that the vendors do what is necessary to get their business and the economy moving forward. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas reporting.
Just before Tuesday's announcement by the Minister of Education, Emmeline Pear, that in-classroom learning will resume in November, the challenges of online learning and its impact on the social construct of students, as well as parents' involvement, were looked at on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program.
The issues faced with remote learning are not only restricted to Grenada, as Wendy Bino, Deputy School Principal from St. Vincent, disclosed several challenges educators have encountered. Bino noted that they have had to engage parents to ensure the best environment is provided for students.
One of the issues that he did not mention, but we have an issue with, and maybe it's common across the region, is the issue of parents responding to teachers for the students. That is a major issue we face when our teachers ask students for responses. We usually have parents, so maybe a teacher might say to a little one, spell the number 10, and the parent will be in the background saying TN. A lot of them have been doing helicopter parenting.
Jamaican teacher Camille Campbell had this suggestion to make online learning more conducive for students.
One of the reasons, or one of the ways we can do that is basically to print out all of the charts. Put the resources where the child is, all the resources and books that the child needs, create in that environment something that looks like a classroom. So it helps you, right, to be mindful that it is not home as usual, but this is now the new normal of having the home into a school at this point. So it's not just making the transition physically, but helping to make the transition mentally. And by doing that, the space has to look like school.
Student Jelia Mitchell was able to paint a picture of what kind of issues she faces while learning remotely.
I think the experience, it's not really good online. You can't really make much friends. You can get the teachers to really help you with your questions. And it's also with the distractions around in your house, the loud noises, you wouldn't be able to hear what the teacher is talking about, and then you can miss a lot of information.
Jelia also pointed to broadband challenges her colleague students are confronted with, while highlighting her preference for in-class learning. Prior to government's announcement for the resumption of in-classroom learning, educator Cherry Bishop noted that they had been considering innovative ways to address the lack of parental monitoring and supervision.
And what we were thinking of establishing lately is some learning hubs where we probably can take some students into a room, or maybe let's say maybe at the school, where we can space some of them out because maybe at their home they don't have the facility, or maybe they do have the device, but the connectivity is not there, the monitoring is not there.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
As children are spending more time on their devices, especially as the world had to adjust to the COVID-19 pandemic, the monitoring of children's internet activity is important, as the web is a world filled with inappropriate and unfiltered information. In this report, we will hear from an officer of the Royal Grenada Police Force on how parents can monitor their children.
With easy access to the internet and the popularity of social networks, it can be difficult to remain engaged with your child's online activity, especially for a busy parent. The internet can expose your child to online predators, strangers who seek to begin a relationship online with a child with the intent of committing child sexual abuse. They present themselves to the child in an appealing manner and take the time to develop the trust of the child to make seduction easier. Detective Sergeant Francesca Noel of the Digital Forensic Unit within the Royal Grenada Police Force says it is important for parents to monitor their children's online activity and be prepared to talk to them about things they may see on the internet.
And we have seen a lot of our young persons becoming victims of child pornography and violation of privacy because they would have engaged into sexting, which is the texting of sexual graphic images and so forth, videos. So now downloading content that may be infected with malware or otherwise. First thing I always advocate is you have to be able to have that conversation with your child. You have to develop a trust relationship.
The older the child is, the less likely it is to have restrictions on what they can do on their phones and computer. In today's world, there is merit in being informed about what is going on in the digital space of your child. While it is important to grant your child more freedom as they age, it is still important to check their phones to ensure they are safe within their online interactions. The sergeant also gave some tips on how parents can ensure that their children are safe.
And not only monitor, but to control the content, to control the time that they spend on certain apps or certain platforms, right? Even from the level of your internet router or down to application to this, there are tools that you can use, and some of those I would just speak to them in a little bit. They offer you security, they offer you alerts, they offer you the ability to help the child use the devices wisely and safely.
Some parents may not be knowledgeable about technology as their children, and so children may try to outsmart them. With this in mind, the officer advises parents to be proactive and explore devices. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
Minister of Education Emmeline Pear has given the assurance that a public statement will be made later this month for the launch of a special initiative to address the performance in mathematics and English. This as a breakdown of the preliminary examination results was given, which noted a decrease in the pass rates for those subject areas. Gerard Joseph has that story.
An overall pass rate of 81.96% was witnessed in the CCSLC exams, while CAPE examinations recorded an overall pass rate of 93.04. Registrar in the Examinations Unit, Nicholas Paul, elaborates that the Unit 1 pass rate stands at 89.25% and Unit 2 at 9.85% at the CAPE exams. Paul highlights that there are several subject areas within the CAPE examinations with 100% passes.
For Unit 1, Art and Design, Caribbean Studies, Environmental Science, French, Geography, Literature and English, Spanish, and Entrepreneurship. And in Unit 2, we had Applied Math, Art and Design, Economics, French, Geography, Information Technology, Literature and English, Spanish, Entrepreneurship, and Tourism.
The registrar, however, notes a 5.6% decrease in the overall pass rate at the CSEC examinations, whereby mathematics and English declined particularly.
Unfortunately, mathematics was our lowest performing subject in 2021, 38.59%. It was 34.98% in 2021. English declined slightly too, from 82.65 to 71.7% in 2021.
He confirms that Carnegie Gittins from St. Joseph Convent St. George's is Grenada's top performer at the CSEC examinations with 17 subjects and 17 grade 1s, while Timothy Stanislaus, Hillsborough Secondary, and Darren Fackery, Westmoreland Secondary, garnered 16 subjects and 16 grade 1s respectively.
Overall, we had 20 students achieving 10 or more grade 1s. And it is significant to note here that 10 of those 20 students were from the St. Joseph Convent, St. George's.
Paul says an in-depth analysis to identify the factors contributing to the poor performances in maths and English, as well as other subject areas, is scheduled in the coming days and weeks. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Two members of the National Democratic Congress are advocating for the addition of medical taxes to directly support the health care system. While noting that their views are not the official position of the party, they believe such taxes will be pivotal to ensuring improvements within the sector. Here's Gerard Joseph once again with the details.
During the recent throne speech, part of the government's agenda for 2022 was pushing forward with the implementation of the National Health Insurance Scheme. The NHI, according to government, will be critical to sustainable financing for improving healthcare delivery and building resilience within the sector. Two Grenadian citizens who are aligned with the NDC have since added another perspective. Maria Pascal, who has a medical background, says she supports being taxed for health care.
As I said already, health, just as education, is non-tangible profit. So even if the government had to add an extra tax on the people just for health, because the people knowing that tax is increased for health care. So you will walk into the hospital, you don't have to worry if you meet in an accident that you have to have a $400 or $500 for the ambulance or for medicine. You know that will be taken care of. It's just as insurance. The taxes, it will be just as insurance, that you put an insurance there and you know if you have any crisis, the money is already paid off.
Economist Lennox Andrews says he also shares such a perspective, even more so from a fiscal standpoint.
Government is a public good, and government is here to provide public goods and services, and they do so through the collection of taxes. Now, what are these public goods and services? They could be roads, they could be hospitals, they could be schools, right? These are services that the population on a whole don't pay for directly, right? But they have with them what they call, or what the economists refer to as positive externalities. Positive externalities, which means that they bring benefit to the population as a whole, right? Even though individually we do not have to pay for them. And health services are one of those public goods that government must provide.
So the NDC would have no problem in adding taxations upon the heavy load already?
I will certainly advise the NDC in that regard.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell is deeply saddened by the passing of Colin Powell, former U.S. Secretary of State, whom he described as a friend of Grenada. Powell, who is credited with helping to shape American policy, died on Monday, aged 84. Prime Minister Mitchell said his most treasured memory of the late American diplomat was his visit to Grenada in October 2004, 1 month after Hurricane Ivan demolished much of the country. Following his visit, Grenada benefited from $50 million in aid for reconstruction, the first time the U.S. was so generous in its support to the region. The Prime Minister was quoted as saying he will be forever grateful for his valuable support and that of President Bush. He considered them both true friends of Grenada.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Dear customers, as we do our part to limit the impact of COVID-19 in Grenada, Grenlec remains committed to providing a service you can depend on. And in these challenging times, we appreciate your effort to keep your account current. Our 24-hour mobile and online services are great for convenience and maintaining social distance. Call 237 for 24-hour bill balances or to report faults and emergencies. Pay your bills online with internet banking, available with Republic, First Caribbean, and Grenada Cooperative Bank. For other queries, email customer support at grenlec.com. Together, we can keep each other safe. Together, we will smile again.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, and then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Continue breastfeeding after an emergency or disaster. Breast milk provides all the nutrients your baby needs for the first 6 months of life. Breastfeeding is safest for babies at a time when water may be limited and unsafe. No need to worry about mixing formula. Breast is best. Forget the rest. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from PAHO.
People don't live alone.
while we had it though, it's interesting earlier this week when we talked about attitude. And we said one of the challenges to life is that of our expectations. In life, we expect too much. I say in life, give a lot, expect little. Because giving is a principle. It is a principle by which you receive. But often when we give, we always anticipate that it's going to come back in same measure, but it doesn't always quite happen. So welcome back to our viewers on GBN's Channel 7 and Channel 11, Channel 20 if you are in cable, wherever you are, via Facebook. I know I am seeing, let me see what's happening here. Yes, there are folks that's chimed in on YouTube. Good morning to you, and it is a pleasure being here with you. It is Talk the Thing Thursday. And we give today, you get an opportunity, whether via you want to call in directly to have a say, or you probably want to post it via the YouTube page or Facebook channel. I'm going to just Facebook. I'm not able to log into Facebook quite yet, but I'm hoping that it is up. You get a chance to have a conversation, have your voice be heard. But I'm hoping today that we can keep the I know there's a lot of controversial things. There's issues of vaccine, to vax or not to vax. So this or not to this. But today let's try to focus on gratitude. I think let's be grateful as we focus and consider where we were 38 years ago, the path that we've trod, the history which is ours. Elements of history may not be as bright as colorful independent on who you are as we wanted to remember. Some, of course, may prefer just to talk about the softer, finer things of life. But the reality is, our history, it is what it is. So let's talk the things Thursday. Maybe you probably want to start by telling me. I'll take a little trip down memory lane. Where were you 38 years? Not necessarily where you were 38 years ago, because I'm not necessarily, for me, I am not particularly interested in rehashing the events of 38 years ago. I've often tried to say to people, what can we, as a sense of gratitude, it says gratitude makes us make sense of the past. Let's try to make sense of the past today. Make sense of the past. Bring peace for today. What about it? Are you still hurting? The tears, I know for some, the scars, it is as real and still as open. The wounds are still as fresh as they were 38 years ago. For some, there have been closures, there have been attempts of closure, but for others, it's been a difficult journey. We go to the telephone lines, 21 minutes past the hour. You are live. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning to you.
I'm talking about health when you go to the health center in Grenada, St. George's. Now, when you go there, you have to go there early to get out early, never to get out early. If you go late, you have to wait until 8 o'clock till they get chairs from the health center, bring to the police barracks, but you sit down there for a whole more hour. You have to wait till the place open. You cannot get in to sit down. I'm an elder citizen. I don't usually go to the health center. Sometimes I call to make an appointment and say, well, I'd like to get there early when they open up so I could get in and sit down. Who's the nurse to call you? What's the nurse name? I said the nurse name. I could come in, just tell the security. You call and you make an appointment, let you come in and sit down. You have to sit down there and wait for the doctor for hours. They come in all kind of hours, different hours. People do something, and the health one, the government one is the one that is to help people that don't have, cannot help themselves. We must do something more for those when they come in the health center, let them come in and sit down and don't wait till all after 8. Because when 8 o'clock, they have to wait till they open and get the chairs to bring over in the police old barracks to sit down there and wait till they come and they call you in to come there. This is not good. Another thing I have to make this morning is about the police officers. No, you don't force people to take vaccine. All the police officers that they want to fire from their job now in America because they don't take any vaccine. They said hundreds of them die from it. They take the 2 doses and they still die from the vaccine. No, they don't want to take it. They want to fire them. When they fire the police, who want to take care of the citizens? Who want to look out for us when things happen to us? Who are we going to call? Who are we going to call? We call 911. Who going to come? Nobody want to call the police officer. They just sought to protect and help save life. You cannot fire them from their job. In Grenada here, you don't like them. They don't like them because they want to do what they want. Right now, they're raping senior citizens. They're taking what they have, doing what they want. It is not right. Police officers are people, good people, and they're the one God put on to help save his children. They are there to protect and help save life. When you're in a burning car, who coming to pull you out from the fire? The police coming. When something happens in your home, you're calling 911. You're calling the police. If they ain't help you, going to help you. Remember, they are good people. And this vaccine is sharing in Grenada all over the world. You don't force people to take them. Sometimes they might have a problem inside of them and they don't know what is going to happen. They take the vaccine and they're all gone. So let me tell you something about this vaccine. Do not force people to take vaccine because you cannot force a cow to drink water. The children coming up now, they have to go back to school and say they have to take vaccine. Remember, all not mothers all want they're trying to take vaccine because they already take vaccine. They're only age to go to school. They want them to take vaccine to go to school. We have to protect the children. A mother lost her child because he was 10 years. Not in Grenada, but he lost his life because of the vaccine. This vaccine thing. It's a curing thing. It's not curing. It helps. So we have to look out for it behind the alert. And don't force the people to take the vaccine because it's not something that you must force to take. If they don't want to take it, let them be. Don't force the cow to drink the water you don't want to drink.
Great, thank you.
We have to take care of the people in Grenada ourselves. We have to turn to God. But the only cure for this vaccine is Jesus. Pray and ask God to help save us all the remainder in the world from COVID-19. God bless you.
Thank you. All the best to you. Stay blessed.
Yes.
Keeping our eyes on the clock, 24 minutes gone past the hour. There's so much as it is. We go back to the telephone line. 24 minutes gone past the hour. You're live.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you, sir.
I do have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
You know, what amazes me is that we understand, we know the origin of the vaccine, the virus. We actually know who caused the virus. But I find it so strange that we're hearing and seeing so much things that the vaccine do. It is true. We have a brain and we know what to believe and what not to believe. However, our leaders worldwide continue to push the same thing. Take the vaccine when we know the vaccine are killing people. It doesn't care how much it kills. We know it is killing people. Why are you pushing people to take the vaccine? But you know something? I discover in my analysis that there is an agenda to ensure that certain portion of the population, world population, is dead. And to me, all our leaders are part and parcel of doing this deliberately.
Well, let me ask you, sir, and I certainly you would appreciate it. I respect your opinion. But when you say you have evidence, written empirical data that is a specific agenda, can you share with us where can we find the information?
No, I'm saying my analysis, my personal analysis.
So that's just your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Your opinion.
That's my opinion. Taking all into consideration from the beginning of this issue, analyzing what happens, what is out there on the media, and what all our leaders are pushing the same thing worldwide. And what I understood historically, biblically, I think there is an agenda to exterminate a portion of the world population, and that is my belief. Nobody could take that from me. So I don't see why you know that the vaccine is killing people, definitely killing people, and you're still pushing the vaccine. Well, out there we're seeing and hearing that, look, this is what the vaccine are doing, and it is proof. Why are you pushing it if there wasn't an agenda?
But as you said, that's just your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Okay, sir. I appreciate that. It's what we do, provide you a platform that you can share, and I certainly hope that as we engage this morning that we get to the point of being able to appreciate a person's position that may not be right, but if that's their opinion, we would appreciate and respect this morning. 26 minutes gone past the hour. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. You're live.
What I can understand, a lot of people, some of them they drop out of school in Form 1, but they could tell you why they combining compound in the vaccination. And you have this, you have that, and you have the other. Ignorance is a blight. Let us try to gain knowledge, because if you have gain knowledge, you will go to the light. People of Grenada, Carriacou, City, Martinique, let us get vaccinated. We look at the TV, we look at India, we look at America, we look at everywhere. The vaccine is not trying to force it, they're trying to protect us. I would like to see something. I hear people saying nothing about thanks to the social workers and to everybody, the police and everybody. Already they're just bringing them down. I'm sorry about that, but anyhow, have a good day.
I'm happy that you've taken the opportunity to at least, somebody's taken the opportunity at least to show some gratitude this morning. We go back to the telephone lines. It is 28 minutes gone past the hour of 7. You're a live caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay, I am on Spice Market in Grenada.
Okay.
All right. To be in the Spice Market, you have to be fully vaccinated. They said this is for the people that have bars and restaurants. I have crafts and spices. Nobody come to us and said to us, all you with the spice and craft, all you have to be fully vaccinated to come in there. Week before Friday when I go down there, the place was locked. The cleaner said to me, where you going? I say, I going to my place. She said the Board of Tourism told her nobody can come in if they're fully vaccinated. I say, all right. We still went in when she said get out from inside here before 2:30 because she wanted to come and meet us here. We obeyed the law and we went out.
Okay.
And don't come back here until we get further notice to come. Last week while at them, I get a voicemail on my phone saying, Louise, don't come down to the vendors market because if you come, you have to be fully vaccinated. Otherwise, you have to show your vaccination card to get in. I say, what? I said, nobody come to us and tell us that all you locked down my stuff inside it, how I will get it. The reason we...
So you're saying up until now, we've not had any form of communique, no conversation been had from the ministry?
No, nobody from the ministry come to us. And I was so surprised last night when I looked, the first time I see this guy, first time I see him, and he said he had dialogue. I wonder with who he had dialogue with, because nobody come to us and say, well, you're all on this side, the spice and craft market, so all you look so and so is the case, all you have to fully vaccinated. I listened to the minister again. She said, plane is coming, the people are fully vaccinated.
Right.
And they're not making it mandatory for people, but she feels it's best if they have to serve the people, they have to be fully vaccinated. So what message we get in? When nobody come to us and say, look, let me have a dialogue with you.
Is there somebody that represents the different individuals at the spice market? Have you made an attempt in any way to have a dialogue, consultation with the ministry?
Yeah, but they don't listen to me. As I said, when we go, we just need the place locked.
No. I understand that, and I'm not saying that was right. I'm only asking in terms of getting a resolution, whether or not there's been attempts to make any form of dialogue or consultation on both sides. I'm just asking.
No, well, let me finish. I'll answer your question. While we was walking out, the young lady come with a letter. Said because of when we see that we had to have a process in front of it because we can't go in, so we had a process, and this is what make them send a letter. We see the letter come, but we know where it come from because the letter invalid, insane. It insane. Just come with a piece of paper and it insane.
But that letter that you referred to came from whom?
Well, up to now, I know who it comes from now.
So do you certain that that's, and what was the contents, the specifics of the letter?
That we should have a meeting. We should have a meeting with them. Well,
but I can't assume that's something official.
No,
anything that would come from a government, an official from the government, it would come on an official. It came on an official government letterhead.
It come on. Yes, I believe it come on, but it wasn't signed.
And not signed.
No, it wasn't
well,
signed.
That's quite interesting. I would probably like to see a copy of that.
Right. No,
but what I'm saying though, let's assume that it wasn't signed. You're saying that it came on an official government letterhead. It's kind of difficult to believe that a document that comes from a government entity on a legal letterhead would not be signed. But even if that is the case, it answers the question that some attempts was made, and I'm not sure what the full conversation is. But what I'm thinking that should be done, as with everything else when it surrounds the issue of COVID-19, job security, everything else, I'm thinking if you receive a document and it doesn't make sense to you, I would probably suggest that
it did not make no sense to me, or they give us the evening for the next day. No, it was not it make no sense.
So here's what I'm going to suggest. In your own interest, my dear, in your own interest, even if it's just for you, or you whatever interest, that you have a conversation with somebody, with an authority within the Ministry of Tourism, that at least you can have a full appreciation as to what is expected of you, how, when, and why, so that it removes any doubts and any ambiguity.
That is understandable, my dear, but let me tell you something. If I wrong, let me know if I wrong. If I have my goods inside there and they lock it down, how can I have access to it?
No, note what I'm saying. I'm not trying to determine who's right and wrong here. Right. All I'm suggesting is, so it is in your interest, if your goods are there and they were yours, all I'm saying is, you take, because saying you didn't get a correspondent from the government and the place is locked and you have to be vaccinated, doesn't, if that in fact took place, it's a different conversation, and it probably should not. There should have been some form of dialogue, and I'm not quite sure.
But what I saying, the guy said that they had dialogue, and that was not true.
But which guy? You keep saying, ma'am, I understand.
It was on GBN News last
So
night.
here's what I'm saying to you: is it that you were not aware of the dialogue? All I'm saying is,
no, we were not aware of the dialogue.
So I'm understanding that, and I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is, the question is, how do we resolve the situation? There was no dialogue. One side is saying there was, one side is saying there wasn't. I am saying to you, for your own vested interest, if you could pick up the telephone, call the GTA, speak with somebody, have a conversation. When you speak with them, make sure you know their name, you get a telephone number. Support eventually something doesn't work out, you can at least have something. You can have a recourse, somebody to go to. I'm just saying, try to find a solution for whatever disparities that exist right now. That's all I'm suggesting. There must be a way to resolve it, and that's what should be considered.
Well, to me, the way to resolve it, we have to be fully vaccinated to go into the building. That is what I learned.
I understand that vaccination, there are different issues here, my dear. There is a vaccination issue, and all I'm saying is the fact that you did not receive anything official, you seem to have questions. There seem to be queries in your mind. I am suggesting that in order to be unequivocally sure, to remove any doubt in your mind, have a conversation, speak with somebody within there, so at the end of the day, you can say, I spoke with this person within the ministry, and this is what my position is. That's all I'm suggesting.
I'm glad for your suggestion. What you give to me, I'll take it along that line, but to make myself clear again, why they should just lock me down?
And
why they should just lock us?
And nobody's saying that is right. If that in fact happened, I am not saying that it is right.
To get in there.
So all I'm saying, somebody must have a key, ma'am. There must be somebody that have access to it.
Well, we're not working with the cleaner. We're working with I have my own business. Board of Tourism.
So I am suggesting to you, ma'am, my dear lady, as you suggested, if you work with the Board of Tourism, why then are you taking instructions from the cleaner? Why then can't you find somebody with...
This is what I
So go to the Board of Tourism. That's all I'm saying.
Thing from the cleaner saying, don't come down here because you will be arrested.
But therein lies the problem. You taking third-party information. If I come to work, I leave to come to the GBN, and the security says to me, GBN says, I am not working today. I don't work with the security. My job is to find out from the managing director at the company, in any organization, this is what I've been told, but it's in my active interest to find out otherwise. And that's all I'm going to humbly suggest to you. Take that course of action. So that at least keep yourself in the know.
All right.
Great. All the best to you. It is Talk the Things Thursday. It is 23 minutes onto the hour in the morning time. We want to say good morning to Lady Alexander that's locked in from New York. You chimed in via, where am I seeing you? You on Facebook. Good morning to you. Reminding you that Ariza, they have a health fair today at the Ariza car park from 10 until 2. Go out there and get some questions on your health. 22 minutes onto the hour. You're a live caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, well, it's two points I want to deal with this morning.
Certainly, go ahead.
One is regarding what we went through 38 years ago. Now, I think we should take a page from the book that was written between 1979 and 1983. That was an era.
Which book are you referring to, sir? Which book? For the purpose of clarity, which book are you referring to?
Well, I'm talking about what took place.
No, sir. I was just asking for edification. You said the book. I was just asking whether or not if the book had a title that we could just share with the public.
Okay. This is a saying that people say. It's not a literal book.
Okay.
If you understand where I'm coming from.
That clears the air. Okay.
Right. Okay. So what took place in that time was a great development. That was a time when progress in Grenada was very high. We had a high growth in economic activities. And why? The question is why. Agriculture was the focus. Agriculture and manufacturing was the focus. Right? Those sectors were supported by the government, and so the reality of exports more than imports, it mightn't be more, but at least we were importing much less than we do today. Now, what I'm saying is that we should focus more on agriculture now, and now even more than then. Why? We're not stupid. We're in a COVID time now where movement in the world, movement in this universe right now is limited. So why should we still focus on tourism when we know that movement is limited?
Okay, so that's point number one.
You understand?
You said you had 2 points. So your first point is that we should focus on agriculture.
Tourism, yes. Tourism is a shaky business.
Focus on
agriculture. It's a shaky business because look at what is happening now. And even before that, they have other things that took place in the world. And when it happened, there's a slowdown in tourism. There's a slowdown. But when you
had a second point you wanted to make?
And eat what you grow, you're certain on your liberty.
I think we understand. Right. We understand.
Good.
Number 2.
Now, don't rush me too much because the last caller took a very long time with you.
Sir, I'm asking you, please, if you can get to the second point, please.
The next point is, we are being told that the vaccination of the population is not mandatory. But you are saying, look at the people who are involved in the tourist industry, right? You are telling them they cannot conduct any business. They have to close down their business. Whoever have
who said? By the way, sites, sir. But let me ask you, sir.
Whoever have tourist sites.
Let me ask you, sir. So one moment, sir. You're just making some assertions about who were told they cannot operate any business. Who said
that? They cannot do their own tourist business.
Who said that, sir? Nobody was told, sir, nobody was told that they cannot do business. And that is not. There's no accuracy to that. No one was ever told. Even if you when I did the news this morning, nobody ever said you cannot do businesses. Businesses were told you're given an option to open. However, there are certain criteria that must be satisfied. So do not say it is not proper to say that folks are told they cannot do business. So, if you want to continue along that line, then go ahead.
Grenadians, I don't think we are fools, And indirectly, even if you're not telling us directly, indirectly it is being told to us.
So you cannot say what's not been told to you, sir. If you come, you were told these are the criteria.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I have a tourist site running, a place set up for tourists.
So let me ask you, because I realize you intend to take us through a long path. Your first point was that we should focus on agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Your second point is that we should.
The second point is that you can't tell us vaccination is not mandatory, and yet the liberty of many people are being cut short.
Okay.
Because they are not vaccinated. That is it.
Fair enough, and I can well appreciate your position on that.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. All the best to you. 435-2041. It's interesting, folks, that, when you were to call and you said, assuming that you're going to take 5 minutes, because, listen, we try not to put time limits to individuals, but sometimes you can well appreciate there must be some measure of control. So you can't determine that if everybody calls and they want to take 5 minutes to go on and on about an issue. 2 points. Listen, focus on agriculture. I don't agree that there should be mandatory vaccination. And those are things that we have to learn to develop our essay skills, our ability to summarize our thoughts, condense it, deliver it, and move on. We 15 minutes, 16 actually onto the hour. We go directly to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you, sir.
I want to establish that now. A lot of us have vague ideas what is a point. A point is an established fact. The majority of people knows that. The majority of the people in the world knows that. A mango is a mango. A dashing is a dashing. When you have your views, when I say you, sorry for saying you, when people have their views, they seem not to be making point. They are expressing their views. So that is point one. A few weeks back, or a few days back, I called and I talked about we are animals. Somebody say we are not animals. I want to tell you, and I still will say, and why do we say that talking about herd immunity? My thinking about herd immunity means that when you talk about a herd, you talk about past sheep, goat, and things of the sort. I'm not saying, so this is a bad connotation, talking about herd immunity when we're talking about the vaccination.
Listen. In the scientific world, human beings, we are referred to as being, and this is not opinion now, in the scientific world, we refer to Homo sapiens as being the top of the food chain. We call biological animals. It's a scientific term. It has nothing to do with whether or not with the animals that's roaming. It's a scientific term.
So you see, you told me we have animals, we are in the scientific term. And that's what I was making my statement the other day. But different classes of animals. Anyhow, go ahead.
The point that I made to you, sir, that things must be taken within context.
Yes.
It must be taken within context. So if somebody says that we are animals,
I said that.
Right. You can't just say, well, don't refer to me as an animal. I'm not a goat or a sheep. It has to be taken within context. And we're here to help, to educate. We appreciate everybody's view, but at the end, we need to be able to help each other. If it's taken out of context, then... But
some people are giving wrong education, and they call it education.
Okay.
Because, you see, I have my opinion, and my opinion seems to be based on facts.
So is there anything specific that you want us to highlight this morning?
I want to highlight it, and I've highlighted it already.
You've highlighted it already, okay.
I want to actually help people. That's my aim.
You want to help, okay. Well,
yeah.
Okay, no problem then. We understand and appreciate that. You take care. We'll take a quick commercial break, though. I know there's a lot of callers that WhatsApp is going like crazy, but Mikey, let's work with me. Take a quick commercial break, very quick one though, and we'll be right back right here on Talk the Thing Thursday. Slowly matching on. We're looking at different engagements. This person says the manner in which government is behaving is the reason for the ambiguity in some people, and this is going to cost them dearly. This person says, this other caller says, is disheartening when as Grenadians, we want something to come to us with everything. They know that they're in the tourism industry. They know tourism will come soon. They know tourists are mandated to be vaccinated before entering our shores. They should get vaccinated on their own. We've lost 200 lives. Lots of us suffered with COVID. If they want to remain in the sector, get vaccinated, and that's along that line as we go. Do we have? No, I did not re-engage the telephone lines here. Let's see, continuing. We're going to make sure, try to engage as much persons as we can. Those of you that is on social media, as you said, we talk to things Thursday. Somebody says, if the vaccine is not mandatory, why are they saying you have to take it for certain things? Because that's a criteria. Isn't that a mandate? Why are we playing around with words to tire people? No more human rights, no personal choices can be made? That's the question that has been asked that comes via social media. Let me see if we can go back to the telephone line. Keep in mind, as you go through the day, there is a caller that's on the line. Classic, good morning, 12 minutes on to the hour, you're live.
Hello, morning.
Yes, good morning, you're live.
Well, this vaccine, it seems like if you take the vaccine, if you don't take the vaccine, you have to lose your job. You must have the vaccine to get to work. This thing looks like the Antichrist to me, and so I watch and I see what's going on with this thing. Jesus is coming soon. Because the vaccine seems like this is the mark of the beast, and if you have the vaccine, no job. I mean, and you can't force people to do something.
Okay, so let me ask you a question for the purpose. So I'm going to ask this question. So I hear people making the argument it is a mark of the beast, that the Bible says so. So let's assume for a split second, let's just assume hypothetically that you're right, that is in case the position. What is the prescription offered by the Bible to deal with it, when the Bible in fact offers answers to all problems that there is? So if in fact you are saying, you afforded the argument that is the that it is the Antichrist, in the Bible you say that's the Bible says so, then we should be reasonable then to argue, to conclude that maybe the Bible would have given you a recipe as to how you deal with the present issue as it is. That's just my own 2 pence on it. We can argue this both ways as it is. I must remind you, during the 4 weeks no movement period, many businesses were told, well, they cannot open. From then to now, Osprey Lines Limited was told that they cannot operate. In this instance, vaccination status has not formed part of the discussion. Be clear that while private businesses are mandated to have all employees and employers vaccinated to operate, there is no similar restrictions to the public service. This begs the question, why not? It begs the question, why not? 8 minutes on to the hour, you're live. Hey, good morning, caller, you're live.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, you're alive.
I just want to call about the vaccine.
As I said, you alive, man. You alive, man. Hello. I'm saying to you that you're alive, and once you call and I engage you and I say to you that you're alive, it means that you're okay to share whatever your thoughts are. We keeping our eyes on the clock. 8 o'clock workers. Whoa. Let's talk the thing. Thursday is always so much that we can talk about, but it's interesting, folks. I want us because we're running out of time. But I want us to seriously consider the times that we live in. And I've said, and I want to encourage individuals that everything must be taken within reason. And many times while we focus on, we may try to argue whether or not vaccine is optional or mandatory. Are we asking ourselves the questions really and truly, what can I do? What's my plan that allows me to stay healthy? What's my plan that allows for survivability, for my financial security? What's my plan that allows for my child's or my children's education? In the mix of all of these different things, I hope that we were asking ourselves these questions and we're really taking it into serious consideration as to exactly what we do and where we go from here. I know many they're filled with a lot of opinions, varied opinions on different issues. I say to individuals, keep yourself in the know. In the know. Not because you see something on television that says, well, the vaccine is X, Y, and Z. I live by the mantra, knowledge is power. Educate yourself so that you could take an objective position on anything in life. We go back to the line, 6 minutes onto the hour. You're a live caller.
Hello?
Yes, good morning, caller. You're alive.
Hello, good morning. Yes, I'm calling to let you know that the person that just speak, tell them when they speak properly, because the mark of the beast is like 666 on your hand and 666 on your forehead. So when it is 666, and that is nobody have no mark of no beast. So tell the people get the priority correct, okay?
Okay, thank you very much. 435-2041. I think what is definitely, there's no argument against that, is that this is an opportunity. We live within the time when there's an opportunity for social groups, the churches, to have public education, different consultation that allows so information to disseminate. But then the question is it a question that the information is not there, or some of us, we've just made up our minds in a whole lot of things? We go back to the lines, 5 minutes onto the hour. Caller, you alive. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning, you alive.
Yes, but I don't want to be live. I'm calling connection.
I am hearing you you sound very, very distant, caller. Hello?
I will call back. Thank you.
435-2041. Please be advised that if you're calling the studio lines now, the only thing that's going to happen, it's a live program. So if you call me now, the call would be transferred. You will go live. That's the only thing I can say to you. If by chance you want to have a separate conversation just to share thoughts with me, then I would probably advise you that you do that sometime after 8. But we're almost out of time. It is 4 minutes onto the hour. Reminding you at the top of the hour, we joined the BBC for a bulletin of news. By the way of information, Ariza, check them out at their car park on Bruce Street and Bruce Street Mall from 10 this morning. There's a health fair. Go out, check it out, see what's there. Get your business sorted out. Yeah? Get your business sorted out. So this is where we leave it for now. Peace and love to you. JC loves you. Have yourself a really, 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 really wonderful day. Have yourself a really wonderful day. All the best to you. And remember, the word for today is gratitude. The word for today is gratitude. Gratitude makes sense of your past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. the word for the day. All the best to you. JC loves you. The BBC, well, a bulletin of news comes up at the top of the hour.